Let's bring in now Jordan Sekulow. He's the executive director at the American Center for Law and Justice, joining us live now. Jordan, good to see you. I know you were part of the president's legal team disputing several results from several key states. I know there's so many going on right now, but kind of walk the viewers through this. How many states is litigation going on in, and how are you feeling about it now?
Sure. So we're really just beginning the legal challenges that are going to be filed by the various entities like me. When we represent the president, we're one of the early ones because we've already had action out of the Supreme Court by Justice Alito as it relates to Pennsylvania and the segregation of late ballots. They had to return, and most of those counties came back in precincts and said they didn't segregate, and they're not sure if they can. So now we're awaiting the next step, the next order from possibly Justice Alito or the entire Supreme Court. It'll be up to him to kind of decide the next step there. So as the president's legal team, that's where we went first, was the U.S. Supreme Court and Pennsylvania directly. There's already another case out of Philadelphia that's been filed directly there about the poll watching. And then you move across the country. They are already being filed in Wayne County in Michigan. That's where Detroit is. That has been filed. And we're looking at potential lawsuits being filed, a number of potential lawsuits being filed additionally in Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona, along with the recounts. And people have got to kind of take a step back, because we're talking about the legal process now. And Mitt Romney, who I respect, but he got ahead of himself. He knows as an attorney that first you've got to put together all the information. And we were dealing with the first 5 days after the election. People were throwing around lots of things. This happened, this machine, this did. So we have to research all of that, and then we decide what we take into court. And I just want to remind people that in 2000, when we had this disputed election ultimately decided by the Supreme Court, it took 37 days from Election Day to when the Supreme Court issued that 5-4 decision, stopping the voting in Florida, making President Bush, giving him the electoral votes to be president of the United States. We are 5 days into this, 6 days into this, starting the 6th day into this. Yeah. We've got 31 days even on that calendar. So it takes time legally, but this is going to be at the most expedited pace you could be at.
Jordan, the big argument against your case here is there's no proof of widespread voter fraud. I know you've heard this over and over. What do you say to that?
Wait until we file in court. Wait till you see what we file. Don't just take it from talking points. Fine. If you don't want to just take it from Rudy Giuliani or me or Jay Sekulow, my dad, who's leading a lot of these efforts for President Trump at the Supreme Court level, if you don't want to take it from us, take it from the court filings. And I'm telling you, those are coming this week. They were not going to happen 2 days after the election. That would be reckless on behalf of attorneys like us to make allegations like that. We need the evidence. We're putting it together, whether it's machine problems, or whether it was counting problems, whether it was the people not being able to watch and see how the votes were counted. All of that we need to put together in a legal document to put forward the evidence. Then I think Mitt Romney, after looking at our lawsuits that are filed, he can weigh in with a lot more information. And so can some of these other Republicans who say give up. They need to see what we are actually going to file. And I will tell you, we're not going to just be filing allegations. It will have to have evidence in it. So anything filed will have evidence that relates to whether it's the fraud, whether it's the miscounting, whether it's the issues with machines, whether it was the issues with poll watchers, whether it was the issues with segregated late.
Jordan, let me jump in really quick, buddy. Let me jump in really quick if you don't mind. I got our panelists with us too, ones you're familiar with, Victoria Tunzing and Joe DeGenova joining us live here on the show. I got a few seconds left with both of you here. Joe, just weigh in on this for me with Jordan.
I agree with 100% what Jordan is saying. The things that were said by Mitt Romney are simply uninformed and premature. We are nowhere near anywhere resolving this. This has just begun. The lawsuits start to be filed today, and we have plenty of time.
Victoria.
Mitt Romney had no basis to make a challenge to his loss. There are multiple bases for it here.
You know, Jordan, as you go through the legal process, and by the way, we just appreciate, too, you walking us through it because it does get messy when you look at everything and what could potentially be brought as evidence. But the bottom line is we have viewers at home that are watching this, and we know that they've got the idea that there's going to be a legal battle, but they wonder if all of this could possibly overturn the election. Do you have a thought on that?
Well, there's two major points. One is the president is committed to making sure that this was a legitimate election and that all the legal votes were counted. And if the legal votes came in and the legal votes showed Joe Biden winning the presidency, he will accept that. But the second part, so that's the first part. Was this legitimate? The second part is going back and looking through, and I understand your viewers' concerns. Is one case in Pennsylvania going to do it? No, it's going to take Pennsylvania. It's going to take a Michigan. It's going to take a Nevada or Arizona, Georgia with this close recount. But I want them to keep the faith right now. As Joe just said, we are just beginning. So we would not be advising the president to even undertake this and raising money to do this legal defense fund that the RNC is doing if we didn't believe there was a chance that because of this legal action, he could be president the next 4 years. So we're in the very early stages. Let it come together. Don't get too far out ahead. Don't get too excited either. Let the lawyers do their job. That's what we're just starting to do. We got all this stuff that poured into us in those first 5 days of allegations of wrongdoing. Let us take it all in. That's what we've been doing, and then start filing the appropriate lawsuits.
Jordan, I'm keeping your phone number on speed dial. I'm calling you every week.
Sounds good.
We're hanging on to every word here. Jordan Sekulow joining us live. We appreciate your time, sir. Joe Victoria, stick around. A lot more to cover.